Welcome. Today we're going to discuss the technique clutching feathers, its execution, some of the things that go wrong during its execution, and things you should know to compensate or fix those issues. So let's start out with the ideal face attack. This is of a left hand direct hair grab from the front. Now keep in mind that typically when somebody grabs your hair, it's because they're going to be following it with a punch. So let's talk about what's happening with our left hand. So I'm going to face you guys real quick. First thing I want to do is get the upper hand. So he's got his hand on mine. I want to now grab his. So if you notice what I did now is I did a circle from left to right, which left everything open for that punch. So you don't want to do that. What you want to do is come up the middle. You want to think front to back, which keeps your elbow in line so that you can prevent that attack coming from the right hand. So once I grab, if you notice, I've blocked this line. If I come from the side, it doesn't prevent that punch from coming in. Now keep in mind, at any time, if I do need it to release this hand to do something else, I can. Obviously, your hand is not glued to his hand. So now let's talk about establishing a base. Typically, that's rule number one. In this instance, we always talk about not jet legging. Jet legging is when you separate the lower from the top. So I start to step and then pull. In this case, we don't want to do that because he has the hair grab. So if I started to step, he's going to start pulling. It's going to start hurting. So in this case, we do want to jet leg. So I want to step and keep my body where it is, separating it from the bottom. So that now when I establish my base again, I have the grab, so he's no longer able to pull me as effective. Okay, so now let's talk about what's happening with the right hand. Remember, this technique is using purposeful deception. So we're trying to do as limited movement as possible to pretend that we're not really doing anything to the attacker. So I want my right hand to stay still. I want my body not to move. And I just want to get into position so that now I'm ready to strike. So once again, he grabs. I get into that position. Then I turn using the torque, keeping the elbow anchored, and delivering a middle knuckle strike. So the idea here is I'm using that open-ended triangle. I want to hit all the way into the armpit, and I'm canceling his depth. This is using opposing forces. So as I'm pulling and pushing, which is the same thing we're going to do on the next move. I'm going to come on the inside, and I'm going to do my outward block and my heel pump. So things that can go wrong here is you try to do, again, the left-right, and that starts a new orbit, and it's not good for you. So to compensate for that, I want to think sort of destruction, where I'm doing my frictional pull. I'm pulling him into the heel pump as I shift to my forward bow. Now keep in mind, this is a minor, and it's used for gauging. Obviously, we're hitting them, but I want to gauge where I want him to be so I can hit him with my right hand. In the event that I do hit him and send him back, don't forget foot maneuvers are done as needed, so then I would just use my foot maneuvers to catch up for the following maneuver. But the idea is to keep him in place. So as I step, I hit, I get the pull. Now another thing that can go wrong, we're going to switch places real quick, is how far I do the frictional pull. So if you notice, if I go outside my outer rim, his hand is still in position to hit me because I try to cock the hand really far. So I want to make sure that my hand stays within the outer rim so that I don't have that problem with the left hand, right? And then again, this is to the face. Now from here, I just execute my raking hammer fist. Again, this could go to the bridge of the nose or the temple or any part of here on the side of the face, wherever you want to hit. And then you can cover out if you choose. So we'll do it one more time from this angle. So as he grabs, remember front to back circle. I want to come up. We want to grab across the knuckles. Think of this like handcuffs, right? Handcuffs work because they get stuck. It's the same thing here. I want to grab by the knuckles so that it's stuck on the knuckles. So I grab with the left. I step, I do jet legging, I deliver my middle knuckle, opposing forces, frictional pull, don't go outside my outer rim, gauge, hit, and then cover out. And then we'll do it a little bit quicker without the explanation. We hope this video helps you. Thank you very much.